Whatever money I made, it seemed I just used for living and art purchasing. I'm not one of these people that have to buy a lot of jewelry and planes and exotic cars or anything like that. I put a lot of my money that I've made into art. You're always learning from people, from art. You buy a work, it may appeal to you visually. Art is never boring. It's part of your evolution. It's part of your biography. And you grow from that. I'm Marty Margulies, and I'm a real estate developer, also an art collector.
I'm Catherine Hinds, and I'm curator of the Margulies collection. We're here today at the Warehouse viewing the exhibition that opened at the Warehouse this season.
Last year we made a decision to go with large-scale monumental sculpture. And since a lot of this is very difficult to move again, we decided to keep most of the monumental sculpture in the Warehouse. But this year we also put photographs relating to the sculptures.
The title of the piece is Crowd. Each of the figures is worked in burlap, which is sutured by hand, and then a glue is applied to the surface, and she works each of the surface separately. She grew up in circumstances that were very difficult, having come from an aristocratic background and then going through the war with her family and the images of the Holocaust that came afterwards. When she was younger, she said the crowds that she experienced were full of promise. And then, of course, after the war, things changed, and crowds of people, the imagery of the crowds of people in the 20th century became something different to her.
Well, I first saw the piece about 2 years ago at Magdalena Abaknowicz's studio, and it was overwhelming. There's 250 figures in it. I felt very strongly about it, and it just stayed in my mind. And when she called me a year and a half later, I said to myself, gee, if I can handle this work, I'd be just thrilled. It's just a great, great dramatic work, and we're featuring it this year for Art Basel.
This is a room that we built out especially for 3-screen videos. As you can see, there's 3 screens here, and the colors and the experience of the sound and the story is what's a powerful part of our exhibition this year. This is a film by Julien, the British filmmaker, and it is entitled Western Union, Small Boats, and it's the 3rd in a trilogy of films that Isaac has produced that has to do with traveling across continents and traveling across culture. This particular film depicts in a non-representational, non-narrative way the story of immigrants who travel from the northern coast of Africa in small boats that are constructed for the purpose of just getting them from the northern coast of Africa to the southern coast of Sicily. Along the way, many of the immigrants perish, and it's the story of their struggle. Every year we add to the video collection. There are over 75 videos in the collection, and at any given time, normally we have approximately 30 videos going here in the collection that people can come and see.
I saw this at Basel in Switzerland. And it just struck me as being a very whimsical and very, very interesting piece. I felt that the visuality of it was appealing to my particular personality.
And the artist's name is Coffin. The artist made these DVDs off of his computer and sent them to us. We purchased the TVs from a separate location, had them shipped here to Miami, and installed it in the pattern and in the arrangement that the artist stipulated. It's just a delightful piece. It's about animals at play. It takes a common way that we get information off the computer and puts it together in a new media sculpture. Our conversation about this collection can be described as a 25-year-long conversation. It never really started that I remember, and it just seems not to have an end. We're constantly talking about the collection.
I walk in here and I say sometimes, wow, this is just so exciting and so enjoyable, and we hope that other people feel the same way.